Well, guys, tonight we travel back in time a little bit, and it's like the 1 year anniversary of this show, so I'm pretty daggone happy about it. Back whenever I would have loved to have had one of those running off its own power. And secondly, the Green Monster was the first one in this garage. Thirdly, and this is what the show's really about. Look at this. You see that? I forgot to kick the breaker on. Dang it. This was going to be so sweet and I messed it up, man. I was going to say, and finally the lights work without me using the breaker. That just totally boo-booed. So, just to show you guys I'm a good sport. Yep, I'm not. Dang it. Okay, so there, I've been having to control the lights with the breaker, and because I apparently bought a 3-way wire switch or something. I don't know. But anyway, now this was how it's supposed to look. Now here's the real piece of excitement. Oh, operating off the switch. I had to like Google that and all that, phone a friend or two, and just to find out that I had something called a 3-way switch. I don't know how to wire a 3-way switch, not gonna lie. But anyway, back to the fun of it all. Almost a year ago, we did our very first Right Turn Garage TV show on the Dodge Ram, of all things. And secondly was this Green Monster, which we are going to get fired up again, Mommy. I know you keep saying 15-minute jobs everywhere, but you know, whatever. But anyway, tonight, do a little celebration with the light switch. I mean, that's pretty much celebration for me. And we're going to celebrate by installing struts. Not just any struts. Different struts on the iroc convertible. I really need a good name for this car, guys, and I can't think of one. I mean, I don't know. I've got nothing. The only thing I can say is iroc convertible. That's it. I can't come up with a good name for it yet. Mainly because I haven't driven it and I haven't got to enjoy it yet. Maybe something to do with like a first love, because the red iroc convertible that I had made me realize that I loved convertibles. Hence, convertible, the Beetle's a convertible. You know, the Jeep's a convertible. But anyway, that car right there. Yep, that's yours truly. And that's also an 88 iroc convertible. And I don't know if you guys got any ideas for some names, you know, just like throw them down there at the bottom or something for me, because I'm like seriously drawing a blank. But anyway, we did get our other headlights in too, and but I mean in the mail. And I don't know, guys, what do you think? I think what we're going to do, we're obviously going to try them out. And I'm obviously going to show you what they look like in brightness compared to the other. The gooder thing is, what brand are these? The thing that I'm really not happy with, do they even have a name? I don't even see a stinking name on them. Awesome. Anyway, whatever name these things are, didn't even come with destructions. I mean, so the good thing is, one, I don't know what those 2 wires are. I think you can run turn signals through them or something. I'm not sure. And I don't know what's power, what's ground, so that ought to be just fine. That'll be fine. Anyway, first things first, we're going to take these cleats off of here, raise the car up without dropping it this time, and pull off the wheel, and we're going to get to work. These struts, if I remember right, are actually pretty not so bad to do. So we're lucking out. It's like 60 degrees today. Who knew? I'm still keeping the doors closed because it is windy. And, you know, I don't want to see anybody, you know, see me in here just partying out, working on cars and stuff, you know. I like my privacy. But anyway, we're going to start on this, get it raised up in the air and see what's going on. And actually, we're not even going to see what's going on. We're just going to replace stuff. Struts, sway bar links. I think that's it tonight. I believe tomorrow, which will be a different episode, we're supposed to be getting some cross-drilled rotors and ceramic brake pads for the front. Because I don't know about these brake pads and rotors. Don't know anything about them. And we're going to hope that the calipers are good. If not, we're buying new. I'm not going to play around with it. So, anyway, enough yakking. Let's get to cracking and let's see what we got. All right? All right, guys. So I may have made a little boo-boo. I probably should have bought the upper strut towers and or I think they call them, yeah, strut towers or upper thrust plates, something like that. I did not, since it's been like 30, no, I don't want to say 30 because that makes it sound real bad. So we're going to say 20 years since I've replaced these struts. However, these are real good. These are Monroe struts. So I feel more gooder about putting these on than anything else. And if nothing else, I can always come back and do these later. You'll have to take this cap off in order to access the nut to that. But wait, there's more. Where'd my flashlight go? These struts don't fit inside the coil. These struts, that's right, you're seeing that. It's on the outside, mounts to the body, mounts to the steering knuckle with 2 bolts, all right? Right there. And believe me, there's another one down there. Just as rusty and crusty as that one. So, what you'll have to do is place your jack underneath the coil spring, aka also underneath the lower control arm, right underneath the coil spring, because this keeps the car from kicking the spring out. I promise you, there's about 100% certainty if that sway bar link wouldn't catch it, which, I mean, it kind of looks a little not so great, which is why I'm glad I bought brand new ones. And anyway, if this wouldn't be enough to hold all of this up, which it's probably not, that spring would come shooting out of there like a rocket. I'm telling you. I've never personally had them come off because I've always been safe around springs. I've heard what they can do. I heard they can hit the ceiling. That's 16 foot up there. I don't want to see it. I don't want to experience it. So I practice safety. It looks like I'm glad that we did buy brakes and rotors because these are just crusty, and I don't know how long this car has sat. And that's why we're going through it with a fine-tooth comb also, because I don't want problems. I don't want issues. I don't want brake issues. I don't want exhaust issues, electrical, whatever, fuel pump, which I've already replaced, by the way. It does have an access panel, if you're wondering. And no, I didn't cut it in. It looks pretty good, though. But anyway, what I was going to say, support this right here, right underneath the coil spring. Make sure you have tension on there. Use jack stands. Even if you accidentally crushed one last week with your car body because it kicked out. I know it's there. It's not really doing much, but it might, somewhat save me from getting my face crushed. I don't know. But apparently I need to buy some more jack stands because I have 4. 2 of them's on the 69 and, well, the other 2 are here. So anyway, what I was going to say is you can always come back and do this thrust plate thing later. It'd have been a lot more gooder if I'd done it now. And I'm not really sure what that does, but I'm sure it's important. Probably keeps it from clunking or something. I'm not really sure, guys. So I don't want to lie and tell you something that's not true. But I thought there was a bushing, and it looks like there's a bushing up there. I hope they didn't short me a bushing, dude. Would not be happy. But anyway, the first step we're going to do, obviously, raise the car, get the tire off there, and put your jack underneath the lower control arm. Then what we're going to do, I think we're going to take this cover off, which is your strut tower cover or whatever this thing here is called, this whole magical thing here. Now you don't have to take this all the way out, okay? Not unless you're replacing those, and I kind of wish I was. You're probably going to break these because apparently these have never been touched and they're original, and dang it. I really didn't want those exposed, so I'm going to have to buy some new covers. So try to take them off with a small flathead and good luck. There's a nut underneath there. Zip it off on the side that you have supported. And I think that'll do it. Pretty sure. Yeah. Well, we're going to try it and see what happens. So wish me luck, and hopefully this thing just to fly up through and do something to all this. So, all right, well, I'm gonna get busy, and first thing I'm doing, taking a screwdriver, I'm gonna pry up around this lip, right, like, come on, don't break. I'm trying real hard not to break it because I really, really love these irocs, and you know, I want to try to keep this in as somewhat stock-ish as I can. Oh God, it slipped right through. And the good thing is I didn't break it. I just shot it clean across the car. So that's good. Well, anyway, there's the nut you're going to need to zip off of there. Okay? So just go ahead and go zing. And yep, there's the thrust bearing. And it looks like that's not great. It may have had struts at one time. That was nothing. Don't even know what that was. But it sounded like it landed all the way at the bottom. Anyway, I'm going to zip that nut off there. Next thing I'm going to do is go for this one. And this guy right. Hold on. We got light. I'm going to go for these two nuts right here. I think they're 7/8 or 13/16 or something. I'll let you know and get back to you on that because I'm really not sure. Also, watch out for these brackets here. You don't want to snap a daggone line in the process. Which reminds me, I should replace those. Yep. So, might just go ahead and order them tonight. Or roll the dice. I don't know yet. But let's see what we can get into, see if we can get those things done. And I'll let you know if I hit a snag or not, all right? So give me 3 minutes. So I hope you guys know somebody with air tools or maybe a lot of strength that just like loves working on cars. It ain't me because I got air tools. So anyway, those bolts there, that's a kind of tight fit on that bottom one there. They're 15/16 all around. And that mounting bolt for this bracket over here, she broke. And you're going to want to try to keep all the tension off of this baby that you can. So I say that because this baby right here wants to flop forward and kind of, you know, drag on this right here. Furthermore, your strut has to slide down in here. So yeah, we're hoping that she just slides off of there pretty good. I think that it will. I just want to show you guys how done these struts were. This was the worst riding iroc I've ever been in my life. Now, that's me with my fingers just pushing it down. Yep, no recoil, none at all. So I'm gonna push this back up here. Ugh. This is, oh good, it come right off. So the not so gooder thing is put the struts on the other side. Okay. Some of these struts, I don't know if these are necessarily them or not. Some of them are angled differently than the others. These might be the exact same. Tell you the truth, you can tell by looking at the part number. I do know that. We got 17, 728, and we got 17, 728. So we're good either way. There's our new nut for the top of this sucker. So that's more gooder. And there is a bearing, which I thought there was, in the very top of this. Yeah, she's a little stubborn. So what we're going to do is we're going to lubricate that thing with some wind. No. We're going to lubricate it as good as we can. Like I say, I kind of boo-booed. I mean, daggone it. Because I think what that does is help the strut rotate around, maybe. Keeps it from binding. I'm not really sure. But needless to say, you don't need your old nut anymore. And these were factory, by the way. I'm gonna store this apparently on the floor because I can't make a basket in the trash, you know, whatever. So, both of these struts are the same. These bolts you're going to reuse. I had to, even though I have a very good impact, I had to break these loose by hand because they're OG original, never been touched. But air really helped. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to hit these also with a wire brush, clean those threads up, and you guessed it, anti-seize. Anti-seize for everybody. So after we do that, we're going to mount this back in. I did mark this just because sometimes you'll get these struts and these holes will be elongated, which means they, you know, are long. Or they'll have a cam eccentric on the nut. And that's how you align it, is by adjusting this top nut, and it'll kick your wheel out or in. So that's the reason why there's white paint there. That way so I could line up the new strut with it as good as I can until I could get it aligned correctly. That's just a little tidbit of information. I know Chryslers do it, at least in these years, 80s/90s, maybe even 2000-ish, I don't know. But anyway, that went relatively easy. So the only thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try to keep the pressure right here off of this brake line, because it really does, it pulls it tight like, and that's what makes these things collapse, is, you know, pressure in here. These are probably, like everything else so far, original. And yeah, so we're going to replace the strut, mount it back up, and then we're going to replace, that's right, the sway bar links. But we're only going to do that after we put this back up. And I'll tell you why, okay? Just for the simple fact, let's just say for argument's sake that I didn't know my jack was creeping down. It happens. This is a AutoZone jack that I bought like, oh gosh, 8 years ago or something. You know, stuff fails. It just happens. And if this piece right here was the only piece really holding the spring up, and I broke it, I might have to change my underpants. I'm just saying, because it would come down with like some violent type boom to the floor. And I don't like that. You know, I'm just not all about it. But anyway, guys, we're going to, I'm sorry, I'm talking too much. Wire wheel, anti-seize, throw them back together, and then we do the sway bar links. So give me 4 minutes, all right? All right, guys, so you may be saying, hey, wait a minute. My strut, it's like way too short. It's like this size, right? She's miniature. How do you get it to bolt all the way up here? Well, I kind of forgot that little tidbit. So I'm going to show you on this new one just what to do. So first off, make sure you steal your washer that sits right here on the old one. The old rusty looking thing. Yeah, I know, it looks nasty. Just use it. At least I think you have to. Maybe you don't. I'm not really sure. I might remove that. Yep, I think I'm going to remove that. Now that I think about it, because I think that, yep. So anyway, no, use that washer. It does have a place for a washer. I'm keeping the washer. You do whatever you want to with it. Anyway, see up here at the top? I believe this is a 10 millimeter. I used an 11 because it doesn't take much force. All you have to do is twist that sucker counterclockwise or clockwise, and then it'll shoot right up. Promise you. Be ready whenever it shoots up. If I were you, I'd do like I did and already have this bolted down, because once she starts going up, all you got to do is navigate toward that hole, and she's like ragu, but she's in there. So that's it for that little tidbit. Now, I don't know if you guys was with me on the last time I did sway bar links or not. This one's a more gooder one to show you. Can you see that? That right there, it's a sway bar link, right? I can just look at that sucker and tell you that it's going to cause me more aggravation than what I feel like dealing with. So what I did was, I think this might just fit it. This is a 15 millimeter. It might just, it's pretty much it. It might be a 14. And a long extension. And watch me be a big wuss and not be able to break it. Hold on. Let me see if I can just sit right there. Sit. Sit. You know, I got a tripod. I keep losing it. So, oh God, this thing is she's a little more stout than what old Dad remembers. Maybe need to get back in the gym, huh? Ugh. Ouch. Okay, well, I think they used to be easier to do whenever I was younger. So we're going to do something even more gooder. We're just going to take a sawzall and cut right there, because that is like less manual labor, and the old shoulder did not like any of that. And I hope I didn't crack a socket. Yeah, because that's a good way to crack a socket. Second off, just take a sawzall with a metal bit, cut right in the middle, and then it's done. You don't have to worry about manual labor. Step number 3, 2, 1. Anyway, I'm gonna grab a sawzall, cut that sucker in half, and then we're gonna wiggle it up and down and forth, and we're gonna get her out of there. Okay? So give me 3 minutes. 3? Okay. Instead of 4 minutes, how about, or 3 minutes, whatever, however many I said, make that a minute and a half. She gone. That was easy. Don't try to break the tops off. Just saw them in half. I don't know why I didn't think about that. I must have been a lot younger and full of just pea and vinegar or something. Anyway, this is your sway bar link, okay? Now, usually, I believe they actually go like this, which is why that sleeve may have not been stuck. Because those things, can you see how this is squished here? No, that ain't from old muscles here squeezing on it. That's because somebody has over torqued the bits out of it. So, I'm gonna be trying to be careful and not do that. And if you're wondering if you, like, for some odd reason, did both of your Took them both off at the same time. Shame on you if you don't know how they go back together. But if you do, if you don't, this is how it goes. And just remember, it's like a sandwich. You know, you got a piece of bread, piece of the frame, aka the lower control arm, another piece of bread. You know, in the center is your sandwich. Then you got this. But just know, everywhere at the end of these bushings, you're going to need, with the exception of where the sandwich is, you're going to need some metal. You know, and like I say, these usually set, I'm pretty sure the top sets down, not bottom side up. I'm pretty sure that was done out of handiness or something. You know what I mean? So I'm sorry about this, guys. I keep on meaning to bring my tripod down here, and I ain't gonna lie, I forget, because I'm in a hurry to do these. I'm like, hey, I gotta hurry up and make a show. Dang it. You know, because I gotta work for a living and, you know, all that good jazz. So I'm gonna run through this real quick, okay? Now some of these, you know, can be a little bit of a pain in the booty to stack up, okay? And I always put the nipple down, or the nipple toward, you know, whatever it is right there, because there is a difference between, can you see that? A flat, and then that one's got like a little bit of nipple on it. So I always shove them toward whatever I'm, in my mind, trying to seal. You know what I mean? So put that. Now here's the more gooder part. Trying to balance all this stuff and record. It's easy. Just reach in your magical pocket. Grab. Yep. All right. Oop, can't see it. You can see me though. Sorry about that. So anyway, that's how that's looking, right? Now, sometimes these are a dirty bird. Oh man. And they just want to be dirty birds, don't they? They just want to be a dirty bird. See how that's like that? That's because I have pressure on that jack stand right there. I should probably let that one down, just because I don't really need it anymore since the strut's back in there. So, if you haven't done so, I'm going to go say, head and say, let it down. We're going to try it, and that should, well, in theory that would have given me some more room, but it didn't, so that's okay. Sometimes you got to do stuff a little differently than what you originally planned. So, daggone you. Let me set you down for just a sec. Hopefully you can see some of this. I'm pulling up on the bolt a little bit. Darn you. Okay. Come on now, work with me. Guys, rather than burn up a memory card, let me just like do this thing real quick and I'll show you how I did it, okay? So just give me 3 minutes. I think it might take 4. So guys, we got it. There was a little trick to these, and I don't normally necessarily do this, but you know, if you guys saw the parts that I bought, I don't want you buying them and think that they are an absolute direct fit. These came from the Jungle website. Put it together, you know where they come from. AC Delcos. This is the part number. Okay? Now, not saying that they're not good parts. Maybe this one being convertible had something to do with it. I'm not really sure. But I had to cut off, you know, a little piece of the spacer. Now this is the old spacer. I compared it to the new one, and there was like, I don't know, however much that is, 3/8 an inch maybe, that was too long. And I couldn't get, dang it. See, that, my Sawzall. I have to switch batteries around because I kind of let the other one go dead. Hopefully the next episode, I'll remember to grab my tripod and make this more gooder. So, I'll show you exactly what happened. So, this piece right here, the sway bar link that we replaced, I took about probably a pinky width off of the bottom here because this would not stack. And it was almost exactly 1 bushing too thick. Well, there's no prying up on the sway bar. That sucker's thick. See how thick that sucker is? So you're only going to get so much movement. Second of all, I know it went in right because look at those bushings. They're not over squished. They fit perfectly, and they're not sandwiched. Do you get what I'm saying? Like it's got the right amount of cushion, you know. So I don't like how that one bulged, but there's not really too much I could do, so I just didn't over tighten it. Now normally I would throw on the tire and say see you next time, but we're going to go ahead and further inspect the front end just a little bit for more wear and tear. Mostly pitman arm, idler arm, the ball joints, they seemed good. There was no up and down movement. To check your ball joints, of course you place your jack directly under the coil spring and or ball joint, raise it and try put one hand on top. Dang it, this is crazy. Anyway, let's pretend this is in the air. So you'll put one hand on top, one hand on the bottom, and you pry like this. You try to move it back and forth, not this way, that's for steering, this way for ball joint. And that's how you can check for that. For any pitman arm, stuff like that, you can do the exact same except for on the sides of the tires. Get the car up in the air, doesn't have to be on the ball joint, and just move side to side. If you get movement, more than likely, if it's a Chevrolet, you got an idler or pitman bad. Probably an idler. Let's see what else. Shoot, I still got a whole side to do. That last thing took me like 12 minutes, not 4. So that was a little, because I don't like cutting brand new parts. And it took me measuring it to realize that I had to cut it to make it work. Sometimes you can thread them. Sometimes you can take this bolt and shove it all the way up here and then slap the stuff down here and thread the bolt down through. You know, you can work it together like that. That was not happening on this. So trust me, I've done at least 3 of these in my lifetime, and that just wasn't happening. Well, that right there is going to wrap it up for the old struts on the iroc Z Camaro. Next time we'll be doing, well, that reminds me, I forgot to order more parts. We might be doing, and I mean might, there's about 100% chance we're going to go ahead and replace the rubber brake hoses up front. More than likely, the wheel bearing seals, and the rotors, because these suckers, whenever we get those pulled off, that was definitely a good decision. The brake pads were hit too. And furthermore, since I got you here, I wonder if the brake rotor or calipers are any good. You know, because I do have to check those. I want to check those also. And the only way I'm going to check those, let me see. I'll do it with you right here with me. I did have a big old screwdriver somewhere. my tools need to start walking back toward the box. It's aggravating. But I do it to myself, so I can't. We're just going to take the flathead screwdriver, ordinary, you know. And hopefully you can see this. And if you can't, say, Todd, go get your light, because that's what I'm going to do. So, that's a bigger screwdriver. Anyway, this one will work. So, what we're going to do is take the screwdriver, and we're going to see if we can't push this piston back. And how we're going to push it back is we're going to go as far forward as we can, try to grab a hold of the front side of the rotor and pry backward. If we can't, shoot. I need a more meaty screwdriver is what I need. There's a gooder one. Get you one with some old meat and taters to her. You know, get you a nice thick one. So, we're gonna go up here, and as long as she goes back, daggone you. Oof. And you gotta make sure you bit in the right spot too. That's the darndest thing. Because I think I'm in the rotor. Well, I can tell you right now, this one already, oof, look at that. No joke, there was a spider that come out of the last one. It was pretty cool. So I know this thing's been sitting for at least a week or two. Especially since I've had it for at least like going on 2 years. So, back on you. I can't get in there. Well, shoot. All right, well, we might just have to wait until we, oh, did that hit you? It hit me. Anyway, guys, I am pretty sure she slid just a little bit. Not 100%. We're just going to have to check it later whenever we start doing brakes and saying, dang it, I wish I'd ordered them. Actually, I'm probably going to check them back later. You can also take off your brake and make sure a slide is not sticking on you, because these things have really cheap slides. There's an O-ring seal in this bottom part, and there's one in the caliper in here in a sleeve. Guess what? The sleeve likes to stick, rust to the O-ring, and nothing likes to move. So, if nothing else, we're definitely gonna, you know, polish on that and make that work more gooder. And I'm gonna look for some black caliper paint as well, because brakes get extremely hot and they just look more gooder painted. I don't know if anybody will see them, but you know, it's just the fact. So anyway, guys, that's simply how to do struts, sway bar links on an iroc Z, and or this also works from 82 to at least 92. 93 on up, I don't remember. Just straight up. I don't think it does. I think that's when they went to the strut on the coil. So anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. It's been a fun year. We're looking for another fun year of recording with electricity this year. And we're going to finish up installation sometime, you know. This spring, hopefully we got a working toilet in here, you know. Why not? I'd like to not run to the house whenever I got to go, but, you know, it happens. Then I can actually wash this floor. Drives me insane. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. And if you don't mind, tell your friends, man, to click on over to Right Turn Garage TV and give it a whirl. Hit the subscribe button. I'd appreciate it very much. You guys have a great weekend. Thanks for a great year. We're going to make it more gooder again, and it's only going to get better. Thanks, guys. Have a great weekend.